Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm AndyRC and today I'm going to be doing a news/updates video, and I guess the first thing that everyone will want to know is who is the winner of the FPV Dark Max competition. And I can announce that now. It is a chap named Lukey B FPV, so congratulations to you, Luke. You'll be getting a brand new FPV Dark Max in the post, so get your 4, 5 and 6S batteries ready for that. And I just want to thank everybody else for participating in that competition. There was like over 2,000 people who commented and liked and checked out the link, so that's just fantastic. It means I'm going to be able to do more competitions like that in the future. I wish everybody could win, but there you go. So yeah, thanks for everyone again for clicking on the links and participating, and I hope you're able to win something else in the future. So another thing that I want to talk about is the Let's Drone Out podcast that I was on just a couple of days ago. It was a all-girls night, and I think it was a really interesting podcast. So Tony, one of the organisers of Let's Drone Out, he got Monica on there, Lexi, Zoe, and Magdalena, and I think it's just fantastic that we've got FPV Girls there running Instagrams and YouTube, and they're getting sponsored, and it was a really interesting podcast. And we also had David Winderstall turn up to talk about his 100,000 subscriber achievement, so that was fantastic as well. So other than that, one thing I can think of that is a news item is probably the Eachine EV200D goggles that have been announced. Now, I'm a little bit skeptical about these just because of the recent releases, such as the Top Sky goggles and the EV100s. My personal opinion on that is that I think they should have addressed the issues of the EV100s, and maybe they are going to do that. You know, things like the cropping and the fact that the screen flashes on mine, although not everyone got that. But I think I would like to see that addressed. However, it seems that that's been put on the back burner, and now there's all this buzz about the EV200D goggles. And I have to say, on paper they look very interesting, but I'm a little bit reserved this time because the Top Sky goggles looked very interesting on paper as well, and then they turned up and there was a lot of things wrong with them. And when I look at the EV200s, they are boasting similar sort of features, so 40-degree field of view. How have they achieved that? So is it going to be liquid crystal on silicon displays again? And we've got dual diversity, so 4 antennas, and that all seems to be built in, but then there's an option without the antennas, so it just seems to be a 3D render at the moment, and I think it's going to be a while until we see that. But I think with the price being so high, you know, it's getting close to the fat shark territory there, so they better be blooming good for the money, I would say. So I imagine there's not going to be too many pre-orders. And one thing that is great, actually, is that Banggood have said that they're going to send them out to reviewers first to sort of try them out, make sure there's no issues before they go on sale. They should have done that with the Top Skies, because now if you look everywhere, there are adverts for the Top Sky goggles. They're on every video, every Google advert. Of course, they aren't ready, so big mistake that happened there, I think. As for Top Sky, I did hear off them, it was probably a few weeks back now, and they said that they were going to send me an updated version, but I've heard nothing off them since, so yeah, I'm still interested to see what's going on with that. But as for these new Eachine goggles, I'm definitely reserving my opinion until they're here and they are in production, so that's all that I'm thinking about that. But anyways, I do have some products coming up on the channel, so what I'll do is I'll go over to the usual review platform and I'll show you what's going to be coming up on the channel. Yes, it's that time of year again, my nemesis, Christmas. Yeah, so Banggood sent this to me. I'm not sure if we're going to review it. It's a little novelty toy item. It's kind of fun though, especially for Christmas. Very cheap. Got a little Lego Santa on the top there, and it actually flies very well. You can actually do flips with it, which is kind of funny. But yeah, there's no way to stop that Christmas music unless you take a hammer to it, so I think I'm going to leave this one for Christmas. So first up, I've got the GoFly Vulcan CP130. This is from Banggood, and I'm really pleased to see more 3-inch models because actually they haven't been that popular, which is surprising. It's really been more about the 2-inch class. But the 3-inch class, it really strikes a nice balance between performance and weight. So the 3-inch class is that magic size that gets under 250 grams, which is the figure that all of the regulators are coming up with. So yeah, these things are crazy fast, crazy powerful, and this one weighs just 120 grams without a battery. It's got all of these cutouts in the carbon, but it does feel fairly sturdy, and there's a spare part for the frame. And with a 3S battery, it's coming in at 190 grams, so well under that magic figure. It doesn't have a CCD camera, however, it's a downside to it, but it does have all the other good things such as a buzzer. We've got a flight controller with an on-screen display running Betaflight. We've got 20 amp BL Heli SESCs and a switchable VTX from 25 milliwatt to 100 milliwatt sleeve dipole up there for crashes. Yeah, the review of this one's going to be coming up next. And it's no surprise, the next one is also a 3-inch model, and I have to say, this is really smart. This is the GEPRC Sparrow, and it's expensive, but wow, the quality with this is just incredible. The strength of the magnets on these motors, I can barely turn them with my fingers here. Yeah, the motors, they are a 1408 here, and they are 3,500 kV. This is for a 3 or 4S battery. It does come with a XT30 connector, and all of my 4S batteries have XT60, so I might have to use this adapter, but I am going to order some Tattoo 850 milliamp batteries for this. And yeah, so we got a RunCam micro swift up the front there. It's the version 2 of the on-screen display. A downside is the flight controller doesn't have an on-screen display, but because the Swift does, that's not really an issue. Of course, you can't go in and change your PID through the on-screen display, etc. But yeah, this one seems like a really nice model and top quality, even to the point where we've got the antennas covered up here for the XM Plus. So yeah, looking forward to this one as well. I've actually got a GPS drone that's going to be coming up. This is the Wingsland M5. Now, it's a GPS quadcopter, and it's got those flexible arms that don't break, so it should be good in a crash. Again, quite expensive though. I think they are boasting a long flight time with it. We have got this proprietary battery here that just unclips somehow. I think, there we go, it slides backwards, there we go. Interesting, using a XT30 there, and you have to plug that in. You see that's in there, that doesn't turn it on there, so not sure about that, but I'll check it out anyways. The entire body is on rubber grommets there for it to be soft mounted. Just 720p camera, but we do have optical flow and the ultrasonic there, so it should be a good flyer, but we'll see what the video quality is like, because like I say, it seems quite expensive, and we have models out there such as the Hubsan that do 1080p for a lower price. So yeah, interesting to see what the market is for this one. So next I got a couple of models from King Kong. These are the, I guess, the indoor series from King Kong, you might say. And just as usual, we have the lovely lunchbox tub. This one is called the ET100 Plug and Fly, except actually it's DSM2, this version. So yeah, 100mm model there. What motors have we got on there? Oh, the writing's so small. What does that say? 1103 7800 kV, I think it is. We've got prop protectors on here, so actually looks very similar to the 90 GT, doesn't it? But with prop protectors, although these motors I think are different there. And they've got a series of these, so this is the 100, but then look at the size of this one. This is called the ET125, and it's got the 2.8-inch propellers that their King Kong, was it the 110, I think it was called, has got on. So yeah, look at that. I don't know much about these. These actually just turned up today, but I thought it might be worth a look for the news there. This is a fairly huge model to have indoors, so I think the idea of this one's maybe indoor and outdoor, and should be fairly powerful. I think the battery though, let's have a look here. The battery just seems to be a 550 milliamp 2S, so yeah. And again, motors on this one, what have we got here? 1104 7500 kV, so different motors there on that one. I need to look into that a bit more, but it should be helpful because the weather's awful and great to have indoor models to try. The next one's actually a fairly old model, but it's something that I've always been asked to try. This is the Tyrant S 215 2017 version, and in true Diatone fashion we've got an insane amount of extra parts with it, and it comes in a sealed bag which I have already unsealed. And this is a lowrider model, and I've always liked the looks of this one. It seems very smart, but yeah, maybe a bit outdated these days. Let me know in the comments if you're still running one of these, because I tell you what, the quality of this looks incredibly smart. So still looking forward to checking it out there. We've got the Diatone motors with the hollow shaft, so great quality. They are 2205 2300 kV, and yeah, it looks like we've got a built-in PDB and everything down here. Looks very interesting to make it a slimline model. I think this is the first slimline model I've actually tried, so yeah, really interested to check this one out. So I know some of you might be thinking, where is the 3-inch build that you promised? And it's still in the box. I was waiting for the flight controller to turn up, but it has turned up now. It's going to be the GEPRC 20 amp stack, and it's in here somewhere, but there you go. Those two there. But the only reason I'm bringing this up is because of these BBB motors here. They're a work of art, and I've come to realize that all of these BBB motors are designed by the same person who came up with the Emax red bottoms. So that particular designer moved from Emax to BBB, which may explain why the white tops weren't so popular. I don't know. But the reason I'm mentioning it is I mentioned that I was going to do a 5-inch build, and some of that has turned up, and I'm really looking forward to this, because this is going to be the FURC, I love that name, FURC core frame, and it's a really interesting one. This is the V2, and you'll see it's UD, which stands for, I think, unidirectional. And yeah, so you've got 3K carbon, you've probably heard of that, and then you've got 12K carbon, and then you've got UD carbon, and it sort of goes in that order of strength. And UD carbon does not have the lovely weave that we are used to seeing, because it's all one direction, but apparently it is the strongest carbon out there, and I'm going to be using this for my 5-inch build. And this was sent very kindly from Underground FPV. It's actually a company that scammer that I had a problem with put me in contact with, because they contacted Underground FPV, and then they came to me and said, is this really you? And I'm like, no. And they're like, right, we'll send it to you then. So thanks for that, Scammer, because now we have a fantastic 5-inch build, a really unique 5-inch build as well, because all this is not cheap to get molded at all. So it is more of a premium frame, but it's going to be really strong, and I'm really interested in trying it out. And what's equally as interesting is the components that I'm going to be using, because it is going to have Triple B motors, born to be the best. And I've been sent 2 motors. So we have the 2207 and the 2407, as I say, both from the designer of the Emax red bottoms, and again, these things are a work of art. So the 2207s, they do not have a hollow shaft, but they do have a titanium inner part there for extra strength. And just look at how you get these in the box. Like I say, it's a work of art. Let's take this out here to have a quick look. So we've got silicon wires here, and look at this thing. Now, I'm not actually going to put these on this model, but I wanted to take a look at them. I think these are going to be in stock fairly soon, and yeah, they're really nice motor. But let's put this back and we'll take a look at the ones that I'm going to be putting on this frame. So these are the 2407, which I'm not sure are listed yet, but if they are, I will link them in the below. And I know some of you are thinking that is a nuts motor to put on any quadcopter, and you'd be right, but I want to do it. So we've got a titanium shaft completely here, and it's hollow because there is room for it. And yeah, again, we got the miniature base here for them being extra light, and I'm going to be putting that on there too. I've also been sent a CaddX, is that how you say it? CaddX, I don't know. Also been sent one of their cameras, so that's going to go on there as well. And the thing that I'm waiting for is the 4-in-1 ESCs and the flight controller, and I think I might put a Unify Pro VTX in there. I'm not sure. I got a few VTX options, but yeah, I want to try out this camera as well. So yeah, that is stuff that's going to be coming up on the channel. I do have some other things that are in the works. So hopefully I'm going to be doing a 3-inch, again back to the 3-inch size, the 3-inch Flex RC Ascent with a built-in run cam split, and I think that is going to be a fantastic model. I also should have been reviewing the Hornet, the 4K Hornet. It's another GPS drone. If you want to go check that out, Seby Docky, another one of my favorite reviewers, has checked that out already, so I'll link to him. Go and subscribe to him because he's just a fantastic reviewer, one of my favorites. One of those where I just watch every single video that he does. And also link in the below to the Let's Drone Out Girls Night podcast, because it was fantastic. Please go and subscribe to them because they get the best people on there, but they don't have a huge amount of subscribers, and it's given me loads of opportunities. I spoke to Chad Kappa, I got to speak to the Race Flight guys, David Winderstall, and then we have other people like Corey Kitten, Droning On has been on there. It's just a really great way to connect to everyone in the FPV community. So yeah, I can't big them up enough. I'll put a link in the below, and yeah, please go and check that out if you're interested. And as always, thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and if you wouldn't mind, please continue to subscribe. Cheers.